I'm Amy from Doodle Dog Designs. Welcome to my channel. I came across this footstool at a garage sale last summer. It has a hinged lid and a cubby hole inside. And I got it because I thought that I could recover the top and paint the bottom and give it an antique look. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the lid off. It's got some hinges that I'm just going to unscrew. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the hinges completely off so I don't have to worry about getting paint on them. So now with this part, I'm going to sand it down everywhere. It's got a pretty glossy finish. I'm going to sand it first and then I'm going to paint it. On the lid, I'm going to use a screwdriver and pull out the staples that are holding the fabric down. So when I first bought this stool, my original plan was to completely recover the top, but I've changed my mind, and I think what I'm going to do is use this top board as a template for cutting out a new board that's made of solid wood instead of this particle board, and I will paint it also, and then I am going to do a hooked rug to put on the top of the board. I have the stool sanded now. It's just sanded to get the shiny part of the varnish off. If I was going to use chalk paint, I wouldn't have had to do this, but I have some other paint that I want to use up, so I needed to knock the finish off before I paint. Otherwise it wouldn't stick well. And I also have a top cut, a new top cut. This is the same dimensions as the old top. In my hooked rug that I'm going to put on top of this board, I'm using mostly browns, but I have touches of blue because my braided rug in my living room is mostly blue, so I want to have a hint of that blue color to draw the pieces together. So I'm going to do a blue undercoat on this. Then when I sand, you'll be able to see a little bit of that blue through. And I don't have the exact shade that I want, so I'm going to mix these two. I've got English navy and Dutch blue. I'm just going to paint the blue in several different places on the stool. It doesn't need to be a solid color anywhere, especially on this top board. The whole top part is going to be covered by the rug, so I'm just going to paint it around the edges a little bit. I've got a couple of containers that are about the same height, and I'm going to use those to set this top board up on so that I can paint around the edges, both edges at one time. Around the edges is the only place that I want to paint this board the blue, because that's where it would show the most wear if it were really old. And so that's where I will sand on it to get the paint to show through the most. And also on the top, it's going to be covered by the hooked rug, and the inside part doesn't really need to show age. I have this Sherwin-Williams paint that I had used for another piece of furniture that's in my living room, and it's just a cream color, and that's what I'm going to use for the top coat on this stool. I'm going to again use these containers so that I can lift this up off the table. I'm going to paint the top and the sides this time, and then I will come back and I'll paint the bottom later. When I paint this cream coat, I want to get better coverage than I did with the blue, but I don't want to get it on too thick. The thicker you get it, the more you have to sand later if you want to have a distressed look. And sanding is not my favorite thing to do. I'm also going to go ahead and paint the bottom just to give it a completely finished look. After the paint was dry, I added a second thin coat of cream paint. So I have done the blue coat underneath and 2 coats of the cream paint, and I've let it dry overnight. And now I'm going to take some fine sandpaper. I've got some 120, and then I've also got some 180. I'm just going to lightly sand the stool. Now that I have it sanded and it has the look that I want, I'm going to apply a finishing wax. This is just a min wax finishing paste in a natural. Sometimes I use finishing wax for dark woods, and it will give it an even darker appearance, but I like the way this looks, so I don't need to add a darker look to it. I'm just going to bring out some of the wax and rub it on. I'm going to rub it with the grain of the wood. This just helps protect the finish and gives it a more finished appearance. Then you just want to take a soft rag and polish the wax. Get all that excess wax off. It can be a little bit hard to do in the grooves. After the wax was dry, I screwed the hinges back on. In my next video, I will show you how I designed and attached a hooked rug to the top of this stool. I hope you found that helpful. Be sure to click the like button and subscribe below. I'll see you next time. Bye.